Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the UT4 Elim League Season 4, hosted by UTPugs. We have a regular season matchup today here between Refund and Training Dummies. Just to get the team rosters for you here, we've got Refund, which is Chills, Captain, Beta, Legions, and Deluxe Model, against Training Dummies, captained by Blimpo, I guess. Does not list it. King Kyle, Buddy, and Dragon. We're just going to give Tim's Weenie, aka Blimpo, the captain nod as the highest ranking player and probably the smartest one on his team. Full of CTF DNA. Team could potentially be very good, could potentially be very bad, don't know yet. Their matchup against FB Final Boss looked fantastic, being one round away from taking the upset victory, and then their last matchup looked absolutely tragic in comparison. So who knows? Wildcard team for sure. Refund having a very close matchup, but losing the 2-1 to Team Rocket. We'll see if they can bounce back. They do have a strong core of Legions, Chills, and Beta, who seem to be working well together, and it's just a matter of figuring out how to play around Deluxe being a little bit of a weaker player. I'm just going to sugarcoat it and say that. He's not a very high DPR player, but that is why they are able to get the 3 players that they do have on their roster together onto one team, is by accepting the slight weakness that is Mr. Deluxe Model. However, team as it stands, pretty strong, and with the team they're against being a bit of a grab bag, we should see a great matchup here. I will say that Training Dummies is similar to Team Rocket in that they do have really no weakness of a player. They just have only one really strong carry. So it is up to Tim's Weenie to manage to carry his team. I mean, we all know Blimpo's very good. Let's be real here. Blimpo, able to do a lot of work, able to get a lot of things done, and it's definitely gonna be on him to pull the very disparate forces of his team together into one cohesive unit, which they can definitely play well when motivated to. Give them an opponent to shoot at that they hate, and they will ascend. So just don't be fantasy, basically, and you're probably going to win against them. Let's just be real here. I think fantasy gave them more motivation to play hard in their match than they've had against anyone else. Although warm-up mode is looking like a biofest already. So who's to say what's going to happen? We have a ready-up question coming from Legions. We might be jumping into this in just another couple of seconds, but it still could be a little bit of time. We are indeed waiting. No ready has been granted yet. No host has hit enter. And we are in the constant state of all things Unreal Tournament related, where we are 4 minutes past scheduled start time. As always, nothing starts on time in this community, because that might actually be the singularity that ends the world. We all suck ourselves into a black hole when something actually starts on the scheduled match time start. As it stands, waiting. We are still in a simple state of repose, calm, collected, and waiting for nature to take its course. AKA we die from... but we have it ready. We have the have funds. We are about to get going here in this regular season matchup between Refund and Training Dummies as we step forward, and we are going into the final countdown to begin Map 1 on Remedy. For glory or for death, says Tim's Weenie, a.k.a. Blimpo, as... oh, man. And here we go. And we're going to be on board with... well, as soon as Kyle has bio out, and I'm trying to get onto Tim's weenie as he is fighting somebody. J-Chill's on the shock lift, and it looks like J-Chill's accidentally pulling out bio. Somehow, no one on the team. Legion's taking it down Blimpo, but it is a 1 versus 3. 3 very healthy members. Buddy, King Kyle, and Dragon are all chasing down Legions, who is very healthy. The bio comes out. No bio hits. They are loading. They are shooting. And they're not trying. The bio does hit. Kyle gets Legions very low. They need to finish him off, though. And now they're finally using real weapons after getting the big bio damage. Link gun comes out. Legions goes down, and a 1-0 lead over to Training Dummies. TD. I did realize that in the score bug it says Refund versus TD, which sounds like we are, Refund is an actual team, and TD sounds like it is a STI of some kind. So if Refund loses, we can say Refund got TD. Sounds bad. It just sounds nefarious. But we are on Chills. Chills getting a LG shot onto Kyle, loading bio. Kyle is ignoring Chills, now shoots a bio, does not hit anything. Chills shooting the bio, making sure he doesn't run into it. Chills very healthy, Legion's very low, and Chills going to run into a couple people here. Bio almost taking out Chills, but instead it is just some Flak coming in. Flak ending up taking out Chills, and now it is Legions in a 1v2. However, he has made Buddy very low. They don't know how low he is. They are trying to play. I mean, they need to stop using bio. They're literally throwing their chances at these rounds, and they're making them closer than they need to be. No bio out there, and this round might have been neatly cleaned up. Can't say that I agree with the viewpoint, and now Legions is just guarding the pack. And they do pop out. Legions does get the kill on to Dragon. Buddy able to collect the pack and shoots a rocket, doesn't hit, and now the shots are coming out. The core comes out. Buddy backs off. Boot jumps up. Legions hears him. Legions slides. Rocket almost hits Legions, but it doesn't quite connect. Legions walking around to the side, sees Buddy, but takes out the wrong gun. Gets caught mid-weapon swap. Legions goes down to Buddy, and Buddy hits the important shot, takes down Legions, gives his team a 2-0 lead. And let's go on to Beta. Beta looks like he hits a nice combo. Mini jumps back up, almost eats a rocket, but is able to back off. And a bio coming around the corner, not connecting. Kyle really trying to get those bios, not giving an air of care about this matchup. And Beta now pushing down Dragon. Dragon goes down, but Beta pulling out the bio himself, getting 84 damage, getting a nice rocket onto Tim's weenie. The snipe doesn't connect, and Tim Blimpo comes around the corner, and Legion's able to get Kyle flying through the air with bio, missing Blimpo, but the artist formerly known as Blimpo jumps back to safety. They know Legions is below this big lift area. Bio comes out of Legions, knocks off Blimpo, and stop with this bio bullshit. The sniper comes out, the minigun is shooting, but the shots do not connect. Minigun comes out. Legions takes down Blimpo. Is going to go for this health pack. Feels very safe. And Buddy walks into his own... I don't know what to say. We're going to Deluxe gameplay. Deluxe Gaming gets 100 damage direct rocket. See... What are we witnessing? Deluxe getting 100 damage direct rocket and a headshot back to back. 2 shots, 225 damage coming out. And now Buddy gonna get linked down. And it is now Kyle and Dragon in a 2v3 against Beta. Legions and Deluxe not looking good for them. Deluxe coming forward with the link gun, takes it out, and what could have been a 3-0 is probably going to be a 2-2 when all is said and done. As Dragon seems like does take out Deluxe, finally. Does take out Beta, but goes down to Legions. Legions able to collect the round and takes the 2-2. And holy moly, there we go. We're going to go on board now with Mr. Kyle, who has decided maybe to try now and put away the bio. It does not look like he's loading it up. And he is looking, finds Beta. Looks like he was hearing him, but couldn't quite put together where he was. and Beta's going to go up to upper shock, and Kyle is going to get out of dodge, move over to where his team kind of is. Beta currently kind of surrounded in a 1v3 if they want to push it, but instead looks like Kyle headshots Legions, takes him down, and absolutely smokes the man. And now it is Chills, and Chills gonna push Kyle here. Kyle needs to be careful. Headshots Deluxe. Gets the jump. I mean, if he took those jump boots, that is a scary thing. Chills in a 1v3, though. Going to swap over to his perspective. Chills preventing the push up the lift immediately, but he's going to get pushed eventually. Has 3, hits a nice snipe, takes down Kyle. Kyle jumps up right in front of him. You fly, you die, especially with 30 HP. And now Chills just guarding his rear. And Blimpo going to wall run across, but does not prevent Chills from hitting him. Blimpo headshots Chills, and Training Dummies retakes the lead, 3-2. And that is a great performance out of Training Dummies, able to kind of come through. And we haven't been on board with Buddy yet, outside of a... Actually, he was on the other side of the 1v1. Didn't even watch his perspective. But loading bio does not hit Chills, and Chills going to push with the flak and then run right into Legions too. Rockets come out, don't do anything, and it looks like Kyle goes down as well. And it's going to be up to Blimpo and Dragon to actually make something happen here. And now it is just Blimpo. Shock comes out. Damage is not going to connect, and flak is being used. Blimpo running around. Chills not connecting the shot. Blimpo shooting flak around the corner. Beta actually pushing Blimpo. Beta getting hurt, and Blimpo unable to hit Beta, and Beta using the slide. Chills right in front of him. Chills takes down Deluxe right in front of Blimpo's face. Blimpo has 19 HP. Deluxe has a lot. Blimpo able to get the health pack, gets himself up to a bit more of a equal percentage, but Deluxe is over 100 HP. Blimpo needs to do something. I mean, my guess, keep your distance and let the man like work himself around. He's not gonna, even with his team in his ear, I don't think he's gonna be as accurate with how he's viewing these, and he indeed doesn't hear Blimpo coming around. Blimpo's gonna come around the corner, hit the snipe. Blimpo just needs one more shot, and Deluxe misses, ends up going down to Blimpo. Blimpo connects, gets the Dark Horse. Great work out of Blimpo. And we're going to stay on board next round from his perspective. Haven't given Dragon a round yet, but we will get on board in a second. And I see more bio loading up. Blimpo shooting the rockets, not quite perfectly timed. Deluxe comes around the corner right after, and now Blimpo's indeed loading up bio. What am I watching? And somehow the bio connects onto Deluxe. I think he walked into it, ends up going down to one of Blimpo's teammates. I mean, is this a strategy? Just throw bio around and let Deluxe kill himself on them? Like, they're functioning as grenades. Big bio onto Chills. Blimpo takes down Chills, snipes Beta. Beta running for his life. It is now Blimpo 1v2 against Legions and Beta. Can Blimpo connect on any of the shots? Beta is low, but Blimpo is also quite low. Takes out Beta, and Legion's able to connect on the shot. Gets a third round on the board. Legion's currently leading for his team. And we're going to go on board with Dragon. Watch the start of this. See if Dragon can't get anything. He's loading bio once again. And Beta looks like he's holding that close angle. Don't know if he backed off or pushed in. But now Dragon is rotating around, sees Deluxe, sees Beta, needs to go over there to help his teammate. Deluxe is not pressing. Legions is. Beta behind. Beta just in between 3 of Training Dummies and somehow just walks away. Slithers on through like a snake in the grass. And instead, now Deluxe is flanking Kyle. Kyle getting pushed by Deluxe. This should... I mean, he should never get that kill. Dragon versus Beta. Legions versus Kyle in 2 isolated 1v1, or Chills versus Kyle. Thought I saw Legions out of the corner of my eye. Beta flanking around, getting the kill. Chills going down to Kyle, but Kyle 1 HP, make that 21 HP. It is a 5 HP difference between the 2 of them. And we're going to go on board Beta, see how he's tracking Kyle. Kyle misses the shot. Beta also misses the shot. Beta gets another HP pack, has 46. Kyle goes down to Beta. Beta with the shot right around the pillar. Beta getting the ace. And we're going to stick on board. You get an ace, and, you know, we're there. We get it. And now Beta going to be looking for some shots onto Blimpo. Fighting Blimpo, not exactly where you want to be. But Blimpo with the great peeks, great shots. But it is a 2v1. Deluxe getting in there with the link gun. Able to push Blimpo back. And now Dragon does not hear the tri-rockets loading, but doesn't matter. Beta misses them, and I think he probably did more damage to himself than he did to Dragon in that case. Now Dragon's turn to be among 3 people, and Buddy with a great combo kills Beta, but can Buddy collect the next guy? Buddy dies to Legions, and now Blimpo in the 1v2 scenario. And Blimpo sees Legions, gonna take the shot, back off. Nope, he's gonna push forward. Legions jumps up, he flies, he took a snipe, and Blimpo looking for the damage onto Legions, but he's gonna back off, slide away, hit Chills, get Chills with a nice snipe, but Chills able to... Blimpo takes care of Chills. Can he get Legions? Legions is low. Legions low enough to get sniped now, I believe. Blimpo is just Legions 63 HP. Blimpo shooting, not connecting. Blimpo dies to the flak from Legions, and that is a wrecker out of Legions. Man, not watching the right guy in any of these rounds as the Legions goes ham. Gets a lot of damage out, and we're going to stick on board. Legions getting to shoot Kyle in the back. Kyle just slides forward into a great... Legions kills himself. And it is already on Chills and Beta here. Chills not connecting with that rocket. Does connect with the LG onto Blimpo. But he is now... I mean, now he's fighting Kyle. Takes care of Kyle. 2v2. Flat comes out. Hits a good, decent bit of damage onto Buddy. Blimpo goes down. And now it is all Chills and Beta. Just 2v1 against Buddy. Buddy getting absolutely rocked. And 6-4. And... I can't help but imagine that there was a decent amount of trolling done by Training Dummies in the early game that legitimately they could have... It should be tied right now, but they threw away a lot of advantage, and now Blimpo stuck trying to make heroics happen in a... not going to happen. He just gets linked down. And can Blimpo somehow bring it back for his team? He's not... I mean, maybe he's disheartened because he sees his team using bio, but he's just taking a lot of damage early. Needs somebody else to kind of like step up and go aggressive for him. Ends up going down, and Chills, once again, Chills and Legions in a... Well, now just Chills in a 1v3. And looks like Training Dummies might be able to secure this one, but they still have an 80-ish health, an 85 to be precise. Health Chills looking to try and secure a dark horse for his team. Combo not going to connect, looking for anyone on his flank, not finding anyone. Shoots the flak behind him. Miniguns are coming out. Does get Buddy with the flak, unable to connect his pack, and gets sniped and minigunned down. And 7-5 Training Dummies still staying in this one. They need to be a little bit more proactive, I would say. We're going to go on board Legions. He's just going to move over to the shock and take this hit scan battle. Misses Blimpo and is going to re-peek, but Blimpo gets the better of him in that one exchange. And Blimpo's going to keep pushing here. Using the rocket, and Legions has eaten 2 snipes. We're going to go on board Blimpo as Blimpo's going to push forward, try and help on some of this team. And he does get a good shot on to Chills there, and hits Deluxe with a nice snipe. Blimpo weapon swapping exceedingly well, and it is Chills into... Staying on. Chills is in a 1v3. If he gets a kill, we're swapping to him, but until then we're staying on Blimpo. This man is... His Adderall has started kicking in as he is just moving forward like a demon, and the bio's coming out, trying to hit Chills. Gets a good bunch of damage, and then Chills killing himself with flak at the end of that. Not connecting, and we'll stay on board Blimpo. 3.7 PPR, currently carrying Training Dummies, but they do not have any sort of big disadvantage player-wise. Everyone above 2, which is what you'd want to see. No heroics are needed out of Training Dummies, except for Blimpo, as he's kind of important to their team's chances of winning, and gets a good flank onto Deluxe, which doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Takes that HP pack, probably still more useful on him. Actually would have died coring his teammate if he didn't get it, so useful. He can still put out some damage. Legions and Beta in a 2v3. Going to be tough. They are playing the long angles, trying to make use of their hit scan advantage, but it's going to be difficult, and somebody finally drops. Legions and Beta are successfully playing this, and they do successfully play this, secure themselves an 8-6 advantage, 2 rounds away from a map victory. Beta jumping up to 3.4 PPR. We'll go on board, see what Beta's playing, and as he fails to dodge up the ramp, don't know if he was actually trying to or not. Looked like he was, but rockets are coming out, and Flax going the way of Beta's favor as Tim's Weenie, artist formerly known as Blimpo, takes a lot, but able to get out of there, and all of a sudden, what looked like might have been a good round for Refund has turned into a nightmare as Beta last alive 1v4, looking like it's going to be difficult, and that is, he is running his heart out, but it's probably not going to matter, and it doesn't in the end. And there goes Training Dummies able to get around back. Difficult for them to kind of keep this going, though, as it is Beta going to be finding Blimpo in the down mini hallway. Blimpo just using flak behind him to kind of wall himself off. We go on board. Blimpo has seen multiple people. Rockets coming out. Blimpo taking a lot of damage playing that amp area, and Training Dummies first player to fall. They really need this round. Going down 9-7, not what they want, but it is looking like it's going to be happening as Dragon able to get a nice kill and get some damage, but runs into Legions coming up the shock lift, and that has put King Kyle, and he's just surrounded. Kyle goes down, and 9-7 map point. First one going over to not Training Dummies, Refund. And who is currently leading for them? It is Legions. We'll stay on Legions. Can Legions connect? Took a little bit of damage from something. Think he shot a teammate. And almost eating a rocket. Somehow not able to just be to the side of his hitbox. And all of a sudden, there we go. Dragon going down to Legions. And now it is looking like, my guess is Training Dummies is going to crumble after this. They need big performances out of Kyle and Blimpo here, but Buddy takes a big combo out of Legions, and Kyle is getting flanked. 1v2 goes down, and now Buddy up top, missing his shots. Legions 9 HP. Chills very stacked, and now all of a sudden Chills is the one who's going to have to try and stave off another round victory from Training Dummies. He eats a big combo, but he's able to stay alive, but gets sniped and linked down. And Training Dummies trying to make the comeback. Will go on board with Blimpo, or in this case, as we can see by his name, is Tim's Weenie, the artist formerly known as Blimpo. And he is going to be kind of holding off a 1v2, but backs off to regroup with his teammates and sees Chills, and Chills backs off around the corner, and Blimpo starts loading up rockets and sees Deluxe alone and afraid, takes him down, but no one immediately in his viewpoint, and combo's going to go wide on both people. Does make Beta kind of pay, but goes down, and Blimpo was the last alive for Training Dummies, and that is a 10-8 victory in map number 1 for Team Refund. Refund takes down TD. They went to the CVS pharmacy and got the treatment for the venereal disease that is TD. Able to go down, take him down, and 10-8 map number 1. We're going to move on to map number 2 in just a second. Map number 2 coming up, gonna be pending, and it is going to be, you know, I'm gonna say that team. I think Refund takes this 2-0. Map number 3 doesn't matter. I think Chills, Beta, and Legions are too good individually at this map for the hamper that is Deluxe to come into play here. I think the 3.3 plus PPR players are going to be able to take it. Thing with Deluxe's accuracy is that he probably fired like 3 or 4 shots. Like he's not using it enough to really, like, I think justify his LG shots. But if somebody wants to go and dig into the stats and look at it and see that he actually fired 20 shots and had the highest accuracy, okay, cool. If he shot 35% firing 20 shots, fantastic. We have our ready ups. We are going to be getting into map number 2 here on Pending between Team Refund and Team Training Dummies. And we are going to go on board. I think Legions was the top scorer for Refund on map number 1. So we're going to go on board with him first. And you know that he's going to go, well, I was going to say he's probably going to take that lift and go up to Nest. It is Legions we're talking about. But instead he just backs off, goes Link, sees Dragon with his team. His team takes down Dragon. Legion's getting shot from Crossfire, ends up dropping. And now all of a sudden it is Beta and Chills in a 2v3, I should say. And Beta dropping and making Chills go into the 1v3 himself. Kyle eats 190 damage bow straight from Chills. That's why you don't just chase plus W down those rods. Chills almost eating that bio, though. And now Chills is going to drop down right the... We saw a man go up the hole, a man go down the hole, and 2 ships passing in the night. And then Kyle dies. Kyle wanted to be in the manhole, but instead he was getting domed, and we have Chills going down, and a 1-0 again to Training Dummies. We'll go on board Blimpo. It's going to be, I think it's going to be tough, honestly. Like, if Training Dummies needs to stop blowing these leads by trolling, I think they can get out to big leads, really using some of their teamwork early on maps to confuse people, but they need to then cement that by playing a bit more solid later on. They need to take every round early that they can get, I think. That's my opinion. Blimpo, here's somebody below him. It is just Deluxe Model, and he is a Deluxe Candy for Blimpo as he goes down, but Blimpo has 2 people on him, ends up dying, and all of a sudden it is a Buddy against Beta at the double ramps, and Flak does connect, but the rocket also connects. Buddy goes down, 1-1. Teams are tied. We go on board Chills, as he's going to go right to the back of the map and start hit scanning. Hell yeah. And he's going to gradually push up. Here's that there are 3 there, and he is flanking. Going to get the flank off here. Kyle not going to actually contest the flank. Instead, just push forward with his team, try and win the 4-on-3. But now they cannot ignore him. And headshot onto Buddy. Chills, great flick, getting Buddy out of the round. Well, now he gets Buddy out of the round, but pushing Buddy back, and now it is a 2v3. Blimpo, 15 HP, not long for this world. Chills is in a crossfire, and Dragon does take down Chills, but Deluxe Model takes down Blimpo, and all of a sudden we have a 1v1, the 2 lower rated players of this game, and here we go. The 1v1 everyone's waiting for. Deluxe leaving the combo to fly a bit too far, only gets 35 damage onto Dragon. Dragon still has the health advantage, and he is just going to guard these packs probably. Yep. I mean, I feel like he doesn't need to move at all. Just guard the packs, let Deluxe run into you. I mean, maybe they don't know how low or how healthy he is. Dragon would win in the overtime scenario, and Deluxe is just definitely hearing Dragon, and his team's definitely calling it out to him, but I don't think Dragon's ever going to push into him. And they now should see each other. They do. Flak's going to go into that grate that has no collision, so no ricochet comes out. And Dragon's just... I mean, Deluxe is going to bleed out first if this continues. We are watching riveting Elim gameplay. Here, we see Elimas in their natural habitat. The pack is gooed, and the goo does take a decent amount of damage out of Deluxe. The Link comes out later and takes the rest of his HP, and there we go. 2-1 Training Dummies able to take the round, and we'll go on board with a beta movement as he is moving into double ramps, contesting King Kyle, hits some big damage, about 100. Kyle takes a rocket. Link gun comes out. Kyle dying early, gets pushed. Buddy coming to help, but a little too late, and Buddy's going to run into two people. Beta fearlessly pushing in here, has no worry about his own life at this point, and there's going to be some huge combos, and all of a sudden it is just Buddy 1v2. Could have almost been turned around, and instead it's just a 2-2 round count, and we go on board with King Kyle, as he is going to play the hit scan role here, and Dragon dying early. Kyle able to get the snipe onto Chills. Going to continue to hold this position while Blimpo dies, and don't look now, but I think Training Dummies might have a slight disconnect as two members off a 1v1, and right now they have two members off a 1v1, well, 1v3 really, and at best, and going down, and Refund just Refund ends up getting the easy round victory. And Chill's hitting two quick snipes off the start, and was that Blimpo that was low? Kyle pushing into the shock area, goes down to basement, and already a couple players dropping. Kyle and Blimpo probably not long for the world either. Does indeed drop. Now Blimpo loading up tri-rockets, sees somebody, sees Deluxe in the U-Haul. Deluxe able to get the kill onto Blimpo. Blimpo trying to survive, sees Chills in front of him, boot jumps up, and he is going. Legions, somebody's going to push here. Blimpo trying with the fancy moves, the fancy footwork, runs right into a headshot from Chills, goes down 4-2 in favor of, wow, Chills has a very high PPR right now. If he starts getting too many more kills, we're going to tune in. But now we've all been waiting for, well, we saw a decent bit as Deluxe just shoots his teammate. He doesn't know that he was getting self-damage. The man doesn't know that self-damage is on. He thought he was being shot. His team needs to tell him that this is a friendly fire league and you cannot shoot your teammates. As it stands, Beta currently getting surrounded, and now Deluxe is indeed 1v3, and that was a no-reg rocket right onto Blimpo's face. Wasn't going to matter. He wasn't winning that one. And finally, Training Dummies getting something back on the board. It felt like they lost 3 straight rounds there pretty egregiously. And Buddy not getting the movement onto the ramp correctly and not making a decision about where he wants to go. And his teammate dies at Link Gun without any help. And now Buddy and Blimpo are trying to back off, but it is too little too late. The rotation was not quite fast enough, and all of a sudden, this is looking like another round that Team Refund is just going to walk away from. Big damage. Buddy able to get the kill, but just not enough. Too many people, still too healthy. And there we go. We're going to go on board. Chills is looking strong. 4.2 PPR, currently leading the way in the hub. And hits a nice snipe coming around the corner. But Blimpo able to trade one back onto Chills. And Chills currently watching the flank as Buddy just backs into him. Dragon coming up. Chills 4 HP does end up going down, and it is all on Deluxe, who also drops. And Training Dummies putting up a bit more of a fight this time, as they're not having to recover from a deficit. It is just 5-4. as we all go on board with Tim's weenie. And can he, like, manage to get this, you know, get a win here for Training Dummies? Combo bug, as the combo does come through, and Blimpo turns around, decides that Legions is definitely more important than Deluxe, which is the correct decision. And unfortunately, one from Training Dummies does fall. Beta and Legions are both up here, and Blimpo trying to get the flank off, but no one is really biting. And now it is just Kyle. Kyle drops to 6-4, and Beta getting the ace. Ooh. He does have 3.6 PPR, definitely second on his team. Refund being strong and moving aggressively and head glitching like a crazy person, but that comes back to bite him as Blimpo hits the headshot on the head glitch, and the punish was in. Legion's 15 HP, going to be very tough for him right now. Chill's able to take one down, able to get rid of Blimpo. That is the big problem, and Dragon only has 8 HP. Link gun coming out. They think he is lower, but a snipe does connect. Chill's very injured, does end up going down to Buddy. Buddy with the aggressive push takes him down. 5-6. Training Dummies able to make some good work at Blimpo shooting 50. Oh, Blimpo got anti-comboed. Red flag. Red flag says Blimpo as he got evaporated. And maybe we'll see that happen again. Who knows? As it stands, Beta fighting Kyle. Blimpo going to try and come help here. Gets the snipe onto Beta. Beta ends up going down. Kind of gets 2v1'd, but not really like an aggressive 2v1. It wasn't like he just got pushed. Blimpo eating a snipe meant for somebody else, but it is Chills and Deluxe in a 2v4. Gonna be tough. Blimpo still very healthy. Buddy fully healthy. And we go on board. Chills is watching the basement. They're all here. And they're going down to push Deluxe and able to get a kill off. But the damage is coming out, and they're just running away, but they're eating damage the entire time, ignoring Deluxe. Deluxe is going to be the second one to drop here. He does drop, and correct decision. Just don't push. Don't worry about Deluxe. Kill Chills. He's the guy that matters. And Training Dummies ruthlessly aggressive, taking out Chills, leaving Deluxe for last, as is tradition. I mean, I think the entire thing with Deluxe is you ignore him unless it's like the freest kill at that exact moment. If it's going to take you like 10 seconds to kill Deluxe, you're wasting too much time on the guy. You could be doing something more important. Oops. Blimpo, last alive, going to try and get this pack. Does get it, but is immediately hit by Chills trying to jump out. Chills chasing him. Blimpo running away and runs into Legions. Legions could die to another snipe here, but Blimpo has to hit it. Chills comes down the lift, takes him out, hits the snipe, and that is the lead back in favor of Refund. Excuse the brain fart. Couldn't remember their name, as it was refunded. But Chills going in, fighting Dragon. I don't really think you want to be fighting Dragon close range, and then Blimpo comes in to back off, and somehow he's still alive. Finally goes down. Blimpo finally gets the kill. Blimpo's going to probably use these jump boots to take out other players. Legion's going down right after. Blimpo now has been unlocked. Jump boot having guy here, and the big flat comes out though. Beta does guy. Deluxe gets eviscerated. Blimpo, great round out of him, getting the ace, getting his team tied for the lead again as they need this. And Blimpo going to go aggressive here. Hits Beta with the 84 damage rocket. That is great damage early on. And the nice cheeky little drop down snipe, not committing fully, going up to the pipe. Grenades come out. All of them falling back down. Blimpo not quite getting the full hint of that aggression, but Legion's taking 2 snipes from Blimpo. Legion's at the connector very low, and now Chills is stuck at U-Haul, and they definitely know he's there. The Blimpo now saw him coming, trying to leave low U-Haul, and the push coming from below. Dragon able to get a little bit of damage, and now it is just 3 people, but they're now all chasing. That is not where you want to be. Someone's got to be going to cut off his escape route, but instead the crossfire finally comes in, but again, it is now both looking at the same angle, and they were both waiting for him to peek back out. One of the times he could have used secondary hammer there to great effect. Chills ends up getting headshot, and Training Dummies finally gets a lead, and Blimpo starts the round off with another nice rocket. Eats some from Deluxe, but is able to kill Beta, and now just gets out of here, takes down Deluxe, and can he get the rockets? He's going to go up, and he sees Chills behind Chills, gets 22 damage. Legions is also at Pillar. Legions last alive. He's got so many people on him, linking him down. He's going to drop, and now we have a map point to Training Dummies, opposite of Remedy, where Training Dummies has the 2-round advantage here, 9-7, and can Blimpo secure it? He's got big rockets out, takes some damage out of Legions and Chills, and he's going to go up and see Legions, but in reverse fashion, Legions' rockets are what lands, and now the combo comes out, and now a snipe onto Legions. Legions goes down. Blimpo's going to get this pack, and he's going to keep moving. Deluxe model is behind. Deluxe 48 damage, does not back up. He is not going to recognize where he's being shot from Blimpo. Stop treating him like any other player. Beta is probably going to be the important one for his team. Does take out Buddy, makes it a 2 versus 2, and he is very healthy. They are now going to focus this guy. He has big, well, not a big combo. I think he just ate the core, but the snipe does come out. He does go down, and let's be real here. Deluxe isn't winning this, and 10-7 reverse Remedy as Training Dummies taking the map and sending us to a decisive map number 3. Okay, did anyone peep that immense copium out of Beta? We could have won that if Scoob sent a limb source. Ooh. We do have a crash, so we're going to be a little bit delayed starting map 3. I do think that my opinion is that this is going to be a stomp either way. Either Deluxe isn't going to be a factor, but it's not going to matter, and Refund's going to win it, or Deluxe isn't going to be a factor, and Training Dummies is going to roll over Refund. I don't think this is going to be a close one. That's my thought on it. Because I think that some of the rotations on this map are long, and I don't think Deluxe is going to make them quickly enough. I think he's just going to be off in the wilderness a lot. That is my opinion. So, I'm going to say I think that I think Refund's going to take it. I think they're going to win the 2-1. And if they don't win it, they better be asking for a refund because yikes. But, you know, maybe Deluxe just needs a different, you know, maybe what we've seen from Deluxe so far just shows that he should actually be a world-class aim trainer main, and it's just the UT is the problem.
3, 2.
And we're gonna go on board with Big Blimpo, round number 1, map number 3, Decider coming your way on phase, and Blimpo is gonna be starting off, gonna be pushing aggressively forward, and he's gonna back off now and rotate around, shooting some rockets, hoping to kind of get lucky, a little bit of damage here. And rockets do come out, but too little too late. Blimpo caught in the crossfire, 3 different people, does take some damage from everywhere, and now is trying to connect shots from long range and keep his life on the line. But looks like Training Dummies not quite as comfortable with this map. I don't think they're playing like optimal places, but maybe that's just how I kind of perceive it. And it is a 2 versus 2, Beta and Legions against Blimpo, or not Blimpo, a Buddy and Dragon. Make that just Dragon, as Dragon getting hurt, and Flat comes out, not connecting, and Beta able to take the kill, gives him a little bit of a teabag. Beta gets the record. Beta's getting the camera next round. Let's go. And here we move on. Round number 2, Refund able to take the first one. First map that they have successfully taken, round number 1. And Beta eating cheeky combo damage early. And he's going to move forward with rockets in low mid. And the rockets are not quite timed right. Blimpo gets Beta very low. Blimpo ends up taking out Beta. And now all of a sudden Legions is above, goes down to Blimpo. And now it is just on Deluxe model. Can he hit the headshot? Get a kill here. Rockets coming out from Deluxe. Not going to be good enough as Ghost takes down the or not Ghost, Training Dummies takes down Deluxe and yeah, wins the round. And now Legions starts off getting Blimpo, big damage onto Blimpo. Blimpo's really hurt. Don't feel like that was a no-reg rocket, but instead Legions turns around, taking shots in the back from Dragon, and takes a lot of damage. But it is a 3 versus 4. The strongest player on Training Dummies is already eliminated. Another player has dropped, and now it is just Dragon and Buddy against the world here. And they do... Dragon currently fighting. Dragon does end up going down, and now it is all on Buddy, as he needs to try and kill 4 players. Takes 1, can't, gets 2. He needs to survive. There was a chance Buddy could have done that. Just too many people, too much crossfire. Buddy not able to convert. 2-1 now in favor of Refund. And now Chill's holding this belt area. They really seem to like this belt area, as multiple members have been kind of holding it every round so far. And Chill's going to be moving around towards Helmet. They hear that there's one up in that upper shock area, one down low. And finally, Kyle's getting pushed here, but able to just kind of disengage. However, it is a 3 versus 4 right now. Make that a 2 versus 4, as Dragon and Kyle last alive. Big rockets coming out, and the combo doesn't connect as Dragon just... and Beta takes... Wow. That was a fast round. Beta collecting the end of the round quite cleanly. And we're going to get on board. Oh, what the hell? This is actually just his internet. I think no one else is playing like this. What is Dragon? Dragon is next level copium, apparently, right now. Well, I don't even think it's next level. This is just... Ends up going down. Kyle, last alive. 1v2. And goes down 2 Legions, and that is a 4-1. It is going all Refund so far. And what we saw something a little bit interesting there, but let's go on board. We actually haven't seen a deluxe model round, as he is getting out of dodge quickly. Just shooting rockets behind him, and now he's going to go forward, but he's going to eat grenades out of Dragon and 20 HP, but it is all on Dragon and Buddy to try and make something happen, but Chills just absolutely apes into Dragon and leaves Kyle last alive, and Kyle currently surrounded, trying to get out of there. Does hit a nice flak, but he needs to somehow survive. And Chills takes down Kyle in the basement, and Kyle, unable to get out of the basement, dies there, and we now have a 5-1. This is going very quickly. What, Beta 6 PPR. We're sticking on board. He's on fire. Just going to ape Kyle here, chasing with impunity, and Kyle gets pushed right to his death up a lift. And now Buddy, however, Beta drops right into two people, and somehow is still alive. 16 HP, takes a good chunk out of Blimpo, and now Blimpo's stuck. It goes down, and now it is just Dragon. Dragon hits a big combo. Somebody left the game. Don't know who that is. Buddy just DC'd. Did he rage quit? Weird. And Dragon goes down 6-1. This is going all Refund. Refund just absolutely taking it to Training Dummies, as they are definitely living up to the name in this map. As we have a decisive map 3, a 2-1 game in the books, and map 3 is not going the way we would hope it would have. But we did get a early couple of kills out of Training Dummies here, making it a 2 versus 3, and Legions is eating a lot of damage early, and Legions is able to take out Dragon, is on a killing spree, but he has 80 HP against two very healthy players that know where he is, and he ends up going down. And finally, Training Dummies is able to get around on the board 6-2, and I mean, what is actually happening over with Buddy here? But we're gonna stick. I mean, Beta is still 5 PPR. He is just absolutely going ham, and Beta just runs right into Buddy. Buddy gets, I don't know if Kyle called that out or not, but Beta got right into Buddy's backside, took him down, and but then he pushed Blimpo, and that was inadvisable, as Blimpo just looked for huge damage, and Blimpo almost eating the flak ball there, and eats a headshot instead. Chills getting the headshot onto Blimpo, getting the crucial member down. But this is still going to be a difficult 1 versus 2. Chills 80 HP, and both players on Training Dummies have a bit more than 80 HP, as Dragon so eloquently explains by just getting in his face and shooting a rocket point blank. No care for his own life. And we'll go back on board. Beta is just being aggressive. Hits a nice headshot. Dragon goes down almost instantly. Just got mogged by 2 people. And then Kyle drops. And Blimpo's going to have to get out of dodge as Beta is dropping down on top of him. The flak comes out. Blimpo hits the good flak in return. But Blimpo is taken down a little bit. And Beta is not that dishealthy. But Snipe comes out. Rocket's almost hitting Beta directly in the face. It is now a 1 versus 3. Buddy ends up dropping. And there we have round number 7 on the board for Refund. Refund taking it to Training Dummies, as they are absolutely going to town on them. It's, as I said, aptly named, this map anyways, as they are getting the wood laid down. And Beta goes up the lift right into Blimpo's flat cannon. Not exactly where you want to be. The shot combos, the pixel combos all coming out. Everyone shooting. And Buddy shooting himself, killing himself on Blimpo. And Dragon hitting it easy, but Dragon dropping Blimpo 1v2. Buddy, or not, Beta hitting the nice hammer jump. And now he's going to mini jump up, get the HP. And, I mean, Blimpo here has got to be careful. Chills is the one he wants, 30 HP. But Beta is going to ape him first, and Chills, great teamwork, able to narrow down where Blimpo was and then just 2v1 him effectively. And, I mean, Beta, 4.7 PPR, absolutely playing up to his potential today as he is just going ham, getting lots of kills, lots of damage, being aggressive, being a nuisance, too. Great tempered aggression out of Beta. And just pushing behind Kyle. Kyle has no idea. What is he? Come on. Kyle turns around and just takes care of Beta after Beta had been spent the better part of 10 seconds just chasing him. And now it's Legions and Deluxe in a 2 versus 4. Almost Freudian slip there. Well, it was a 1 versus 4 eventually. And there we have it. Training Dummies able to get a 4th round, but they need to make a comeback yesterday. 8-4 is not the way you want to be going if you are trying to win this map. And Beta is just continuing to push. He has no care. There is no S key on this train. This is plus W, no breaks. And now fighting Blimpo. And Flakball comes out. Blimpo does go down. Not good news if you're a Training Dummies fan, as the carry has dropped. The carrier has been sunk. Kyle not connecting on the combo. Not connecting on the flax. And now it is Buddy. Buddy goes down. Dragon, 1v4. Deluxe is already linking him down. Already, he gets the flak, but not too little, too late. Match point on the board for Refund, and they don't need any refunds today as they are getting the whole enchilada, and they are paying in cash as Buddy's going to get pushed down here. I think he's probably just going to drop. It's a 1v3. He does go down, does take a good chunk of damage out of Beta, but it's going to be tough for him to... tough for them to come back, although Beta does get taken down. Big flax out of Dragon. He has got Legions and Chills. Chills going down. Legions is hurt. Legions takes a lot of damage. Legions eats up another rocket. Dragon has somehow managed to almost single-handedly turn that round on its ear as Training Dummies not done yet. As, I mean, I mean, that was just a great round out of Dragon. And now Beta still plus Wing this entire time. Mini jumps up, sees a player below him, and Buddy just not aware of the guy in his back. Beta able to take down Buddy, hits Blimpo with a snipe, and now Blimpo's just going to get pushed here. Blimpo is now found that Beta is a difficult customer to crack, and now it is Dragon in a 2v1. And he is going to get flanked both sides. Needs to take care. Legion's 5 HP, but Beta's right behind him. Dragon takes down Beta, gets a health pack. He will survive a snipe. Does survive a snipe, but Legions hits both snipes with 5 HP. Legions gets the round, takes the match. 10-5 in favor of Refund. And that is the match. 2-1 in Refund's favor. Training Dummies drops another one. They fall to 0-3 on the season after a very promising match number 1 against Final Boss. They have dropped 2 in kind of ugly fashion, although maps 1 and 2 were quite close. They weren't able to get it done on Remedy. Did convert on Pending, but they got pretty aped on Phase. And that will be all for this match as Refund takes it. And as always, UT4 Elim League Season 4, hosted by UTPugs. I'm your caster for the match EP. Catch anyone else for other matches that may be coming out if I'm not there to cast them. And until next time, have a good one, y'all. Take care now.